Sup my dudes, Valk here, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the changes that happened in anime crossover defense. And before I do that, I actually wanted to do something else. We're going to take him, and we're going to bada bing, bada boom right there. I want to talk about the changes that happened in anime crossover defense, because I didn't get a chance to talk about it yesterday because I was so busy with AWTD and everything that happened, and also testing with Anime Royale. Because I want to make sure to try and balance and test that game right, because that game is going to be releasing here in the next couple weeks. I'm pretty hyped for it, and I want to see you guys' response to the ideas we come up. But I want to talk about ACD, because ACD literally had their biggest update yet. It's not going to seem like it. You guys are going to say, oh, they only added 2 new raid units, and then they added 1 other unit, Megami, that you get through the event shop. No, I mean, yes, but no. But the thing is this update was very much necessary for the life of the game. One of the things that changed is the buffs no longer apply multiplicatively. The way the buffs used to apply is the buffs would make it so it is your unit times buff equals number, that number times buff equals new number times buff equals new number, etc. You get the idea. The buffs applied multiplicatively. Now they apply linearly, which makes certain things really good and certain things really mid, and also opens up more options for sub DPS and crowd control units. That way you can control waves better, because Mangekyo also got nuked, which is really good. They needed it. So the buff changes don't feel good, but they're very much necessary for the health of the game. Before people be like, no, they weren't. We were doing good. I was hitting 100 million attack stat. 3 months into the game's lifespan. That's not a good sign. That's not, because where do you go from there? Power creep needs to happen, so where do you go from there? Like, that's the only thing, right? For people to be interested in new units, they have to be stronger than old units. Just straight up, plain and simple. So, where the hell do you go from already hitting 100 million attack stat? Like, the only way to go is down. So, this update cut all power by about 70%. The other thing they did was they reset Challenge Rift, and they completely rebalanced artifacts. I'll make a different video going over that, but it is something I really hope the artifact rebalancing stuff happens about maybe once a month or so, because it's really fun figuring out the new meta. Because right now everyone's saying that the cloud, the Nimbus cloud, and the Renegon. Well, I'm saying Renegon might be meta, but Nimbus cloud is what everyone thinks is meta, and Renegon's what I'm saying might be meta, and we're all kind of just figuring it out. Very simply because nobody really knows what the meta is right now, and that's really fun and exciting, rather than everyone just slapping Mangekyo on a unit and calling it a day. Now, as far as the artifact rebalance goes, with them trying to lower epics and make mythics more valuable, on some artifacts they absolutely succeeded and they nailed it, and then on others, like the Mangekyo for example, they did miss, where the epic's still just more valuable. Just run the epic. They absolutely did miss. But it's just, there's so many artifacts, there's so much stuff. Not everybody's going to be perfect, not everybody's going to hit every single mark, so it just happens. Anyways, I want to show you guys now how the buffs apply, and while I do that, I do want to explain some other things. Oh, and also, the Mythic Ascension bug got fixed. So Bulma, if you do not have traits on her, feels significantly worse to use. I highly recommend, if you guys get these, or if you guys go and you get all 1500 helix from this, trying to roll a trait on Bulma. I know it's terrifying, I know. But if you can get Innovator, or hell, even better, CEO, you are sitting pretty. Because now Bulma feels really good to use if you have Innovator or CEO. But that also means now they have to balance around these traits because they're fully functional. So, yeah. That's definitely something to consider. I think that maybe base Bulma without traits should get looked at some, because like I said, I have used her, I tested her, I even made a copy to, I was testing her last night. See, look, I made a copy of Bulma right here to go ahead and basically test the gains compared to before. And while the final gain is really good, and while the gain at the very end of the problem is really good, because it's 15k, I believe it was 11.2k before. Now she gets 15k now at the end. The process of getting there is much more rough, right? The process of getting there just doesn't feel quite as good, and I don't exactly know the reason for that. But yeah, it takes longer to actually fully max her out, which does not feel good in return. So now we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and we're going to do that Bop. And now we're just going to kind of wait. So, yeah, that's basically it. I want to show you guys what it is, because I know one of my last videos I made, you could see where Guts basically was reaching 100 million attack stat, and I want to show you guys what he can do with virtually the same setup. The only difference is Vader, because I think Vader's really, really good right now. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead, put down Gatsu right here, upgrade him a good little bit. You guys can see what the, look at what the Rinnegan does. This is why I'm saying Rinnegan just might be meta. 50% crit off rip. Just 50% crit, because I think Guts gets 10% out of one of his upgrades, and yeah. And look at the range you get from this. It's absolutely wild. The only thing that I completely removed was Nami, because now you need to bring, your range boosts need to be coming through, all of your, what is it? All your artifacts now. Like Nami, because Nami can't stack anymore, and that's kind of what made Nami so good, is Nami was able to stack like crazy. I still think she's pretty good, but yeah, same with Shinobu, but Shinobu will provide that range boost that we need. So yeah, this is the new meta. This is the new dawn of the new age. Oh yeah, we need to go max out our Bulma. What am I doing? Let's go max her out. Bloop. And bloop. There we go. We maxed out Bulma, so now we can go ahead and start focusing on Gatsu and get our setup going, and you guys can see like how much it's evolved basically all the way through. Like Rinnegan's really good, dude. Rinnegan's insanely good. I do kind of want to bring Toto, because now like crit damage plus this, I want to see like what crit damage could get up to. I know with like Nami I could basically get to like 100% crit rate, so I am going to be very curious to see what like Nami plus Toto does with this setup. I believe that there's going to be some other things as well. We'll see. But yeah, you guys can see how much damage Guts is doing right now. And like I said, Nimbus Cloud, if you manage to get it to R10, I don't think I said that actually. The reason people think Nimbus Cloud is absolute meta, if you manage to get it to an R10 Primal, good luck with all that. You can get 90% range and plus 200% damage out of it. Just a really big stat stick, which is really, 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 really good. That's really good, like insanely good. So yeah, really, really, really fat attack stick. So we're gonna go here, 5.931 million before any buffers. Yeah, the Rinnegan is so damn good, and look, 50% crit rate too. I don't have damage numbers on. Let me turn on damage numbers. Look at these crits. I want to see a crit. 1.7 million crit. Jesus. And because it's a multi-hit, that was just one part of it. That's crazy. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and do this. I think that's too far away. Okay, so we're going to put Steve here and move him here. Alright, cool. Steve is now buffing. You guys can see we're going to check the buffs out to each one. Just keep in mind it was like 100 mil before. Now he's at 23 million attack stat with 50% crit rate because Rinnegan. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and now do this. And then we're going to buff you up all the way. 2. Alright. And now this will give us our range buff. So now we just have like crazy range as well. You can see we're basically covering the whole map now because of Shinobu. And like I said, buffs don't stack anymore. So I can't put another Shinobu down and it affect him. I've already tested it. The buffs just straight up don't stack anymore. So you don't even really want to bother with all that now. Let's see. I'll put you here. Alright, and then we're going to put Sakura. Did I already put a Sakura here in Cell? I'm going to do it anyways. Then we're going to put a Sakura like here-ish. Alright, cool. So now you can see rather than anywhere near 100 million, he instead is at 37.9 million. Yeah, like I said, you like all the damage buffs get pretty much cut by like 70%. Like you lost about like 70% power this update. I am missing one buff admittedly, but it wouldn't apply multiplicatively anyways, so it doesn't matter. But I am missing a singular buff, so yeah, that's something to consider, I guess. Alright, next up now I show you why Vader's so good. Why Vader is God. Our Lord and Savior, Vader. Okay, so we look at first his on-placement range, really, really good. Then we're going to upgrade top path specifically. And you can see the range of his top path. Anything that walks inside this range is just going to get absolutely blasted. But here, we're going to set up another buff area. Because I want him to be really good. We're just going to put him up front here. So if you guys don't know, right, the reason Vader is so good is because his full AoE force choke is on an 8-second cooldown. Which means it's on a shorter cooldown now than Mangekyo. So you're better off bringing Vader and going top path. Either using him with the Namek Cloud or using him with SPA reduction because he has good range to start, right? Well, first he's got to not get stunned by guts. We're going to move him real quick. But he has like good range to start. You could buff it up more with like Nami, but there's really no point. But yeah, this is just his range, right? This is just how his range is. Well, obviously I have Hawkeye on him. And I have Namek Cloud, which gives a ton of range. But basically the meta now is like which artifacts actually give range so you can utilize on damage and actually have like higher damage windows. And basically just trying to utilize that. It's no longer buff stacking because you can't anymore. Buff stacking is gone. So you're going to want to bring like a sub DPS / crowd control based character to buy you time. I can already tell you that. And I think Vader's going to be like a heavy look for like the best support. And also Vader also does really damn good damage on his own as well. Like I'm currently rolling on Vader to try to get something good. But if I don't get anything good on Vader, I'll probably just swap over to roll on Megami when I get him. Because I am blitzing straight to Megami. I do like Mahoraga and all that. Mahoraga, help! But yeah. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching as always. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.